Good day, Doctor. Today I'll be presenting the second phase of our project, which focuses on the requirement model for the Digital Mental Health Literacy Hub or DMHLH. In this phase, we dive deeper into how the system should behave from functional, data, and behavioral perspective. We model this through use case diagrams, class diagrams, activity diagrams, and where relevant state diagrams. The overall goals for the MHLH remains the same: to raise awareness, offer ongoing mental wellness support, and streamline help-seeking processes for higher education students. One of the core design principles is that the platform should be student-friendly, anonymous, and educational focused, no diagnostic or clinical. Each use case presents a feature or instruction that support this goal. Today, I'll explain two of them: UC02, which allows students to view mental health resources, and UC03, where admin and staff can upload and manage these resources.
Assalamu alaikum, doctor. My name is Rami Yassein, and today I'll be explaining about our use case diagram that we created for our mental health literacy hub system. So the use case has 8 use cases, starting with generate help using AI, which is used by students. It generates resources related to mental health, and also we have use case of view educational resources, which is help student look at interactive resources, videos related to mental health that is created by the mental health professional or chancellor, which is using the create mental health educational resources. Then we have seek immediate help, which is used to as a panic button whenever the student feels so down and depressed. He can make use of this use case to communicate with the staff or academic advisor and mental health professional. Then these two use cases help manage and create a chancellor appointment in case the student need it, which is track and manage appointment use case and book chancellor appointment use case. Then we have communicate help use case, which is informal support used by the staff, the student and the staff. So in case the student feel depressed or something and he want to talk to someone, the academic advisor he can chat directly with the academic advisor and request informal support to improve his mental health well-being. And then communicating forums, which is a feature that allow for blogs, mental health blogs that students can write and get feedback from other students and share their story and experiences with mental health problems. Here is a common the relationship in our diagrams. Firstly is include. We have the viewing education resources require prior creation of said resources. Thus, we cannot use case 2 cannot function without use case 4, which is view education resources and create mental health education resources. And then we have use case 5 and use case 6, which is the track and management appointment, which is part of booking an appointment. That's why we make use of extend. For class diagrams, we have for each use case we made a specification, and at some of the use cases we give them also an activity diagram. Firstly, for use case 1, which is generate AI help, this features, as said, it generates resources and try to help students using AI with their mental health problem, giving them useful resources and guiding them towards solution to their problem. So the actor is the student. The precondition: the student must select AI chatbot feature from the homepage and of course be logged in. The normal flow: student initiates a new AI help session, and then the AI fetch data from the database and then give them the resources and try to help the students. At the same time, the AI continuously check if the student is satisfied or not with his response. If not satisfied, then he can escalate the problem, ask him to contact the academic advisor and make a booking for appointment with the chancellor. And if there is an error, of course, you will ask for try again or contact support. Afterwards, the session is marked with either resolved, escalated, or failed. If escalated, referral information is passed to the appropriate model, which is appointment for all staff. This is what's called state diagram, activity diagram. So student login, he has an inquiry. This inquiry is created and the AI generate answer for that inquiry, and then the student reply to that inquiry, and this is continuously in a loop until the AI is satisfied that the inquiry have been answered. If it's not answered, then he will refer the inquiry to a mental health professional like a chancellor to help the student solve his mental health problem.
For UC02, View Educational Resource. This use case is designed for students who want to learn about mental health topics such as anxiety, depression, or coping techniques. Once the student logs in, they can go to the resource section. From there, the system displays various categories like articles, videos, infographic, or quizzes. The student selects a category and the system logs a list of related resources. They they can then click on any resource to view it and optionally bookmark or like it. This use case ensures that students can access curated educational content anytime, which is essential for building awareness and self-understanding. Next is UC03, Generate Mental Health Educational Resource. This use case is meant for administrators or authorized staff who are responsible for adding or managing content on the platform. After logging in, the admin can choose to create a new resource. They pick the content type, for example, an article, a video, or an infographic, and then input all necessary details like title, text, and media. The content can be saved as a draft, submitted, or previewed for published directly depending on the system workload. If submitted, a reviewer can approve or reject the content with feedback. Once approved, the content becomes available in the student-facing resource page. This use case supports the continuous update of relevant, accurate content and ensure quality control through optional review.
The seek immediate help use case is about when a student hit the panic button and request for emergency help. When a student log into the system and hit the panic button, the system will notify the academic advisor and will check for the counselor's availability and schedule an immediate virtual session. After the session, the student will fill out the feedback form and the counselor may suggest for a follow-up session if needed. The alternative flow is about if no counselor is available at that time, the staff will assign the student a trained peer volunteer to provide mental support. The exceptional flow occurs when no counselor and peer volunteer available or there is a system error. The system will then display emergency mental health resources and suggest to book later for a session. Post conditions are the feedback of the students will be recorded in the system. Then a follow-up session booking option will be provided. Then the academic advisor will be able to view the students' activity, and if there is a system error in the exceptional flow, that will be recorded for future improvements.
Next is the track and manage appointment use case. This use case will allow students to track and manage any appointments they have made. The actors are students. The preconditions are they are logged into the system, they are on the dashboard, and an appointment has already been made, of course. The normal flow goes they navigate to the appointment section. The system displays all appointments they have and their status, and then the student selects an appointment to view, and the system then displays the detailed information for that appointment. As for the alternative flows, they can edit the appointment by selecting edit. This will display all of available time slots. Then the student selects a new time and the appointment is updated in system. Uh, they can also cancel an appointment by selecting cancel. This will prompt for confirmation. If the student confirms, the appointment is deleted. Finally, for exception flow, if the data is failed to update, the system displays an error message and a retry button is displayed. Here in the activity diagram, you can see that process in graphical form.
This use case will allow the students to book for a session. Firstly, the student will log into the system, then go to the appointment request form. They will fill out the form, and then the system will store that form in the database and display the counselor's availability. Then the student will select a time slot and then confirm the booking. After confirmation, the system will notify that counselor and the counselor will be allowed to view the student's form. After the session, the student will need to fill out a feedback form. In the alternative flow, if a student edit or cancel the appointment, then the system will update the availability and notify the counselor. Or If the counselor changes the availability, the system will update and ask the student to reselect a new time slot for the session. In the exceptional flow, if no counselor is available, then the system will waitlist the student and notify when a slot is available. Also, if the student submits an incorrect form, it will highlight the error and ask to fill out the again. The post conditions or counselors availability will be updated, then both student and counselors dashboards will be updated.
And this is for the use case 7. For use case 7, which is request informal support, is a feature in our system that allows the student to communicate with their academic advisor in case they need some support. So the student selects a chat with academic advisor and initiate a chat session. The student receive a message and then they have a real-time conversation. The students like describe their problems and then get what's called uh, he gets support from the staff or the academic advisor. If the academic advisor sees that student case is severe and needs some help, then the staff can book an appointment for the student or refer him to the mental health professional. If there is no staff available, the system redirects students to other support tools that we have in our system. And the chat end prematurely. The chat before the support is provided system saves partial interaction as incomplete use case end. Then we have the exceptional flows, which is an error. If reconnect fails, the system login as interrupted, students prompted to enter again and use case ends. And the post condition, of course, is either resolved, referred, incomplete, or interrupt, which is the stage that could happen afterward.
Or communicate in forum use case. This use case will allow students to communicate in the community forums. The actors are students. The preconditions are they are allowed into the system and they are in the community forums page. So the normal flow is student selects a community forum and then that community is then displayed by the system and then the student can now create a post and after creating it, after pressing the post button, the post is sent to the system and eventually displayed in the community. Alternatively, they can engage in on already created posts by selecting that post and then selecting like or dislike. They can also comment by using the comment button. And after creating the comment is posted under the original post. The exception flow is if at any point the post is failed to be uploaded, the system displays an error message and returns to the community forum homepage. Here in the activity diagram, you can see it being illustrated.
So this is the UML domain class diagram for our mental health literacy hub system. We have divided our system into total 2 classes. Firstly, the mental health professional class, which has 2 giant classes, counselor and peer volunteer. Both these classes will conduct sessions with the students upon normal booking or emergency help request with the panic button feature. They will also create mental health resources, which means contents like blogs, quizzes, games on the mental health. Then the academic advisor will only be able to view the student's activity through his dashboard and will receive a notification when the student use the panic button feature requesting emergency support. Then the AI chatbot interacts with students by suggesting mental health resources and assisting them in how to use the system like book and manage appointment, etc. A student can book normal session or urgent session with the panic button feature. Then they will submit feedback on the services they took. Then can chat with the AI chatbot. Can also display mental health resources, which means contents like blogs, quizzes, games. Can also create post in forum and then add comments on the post. All the forum posts and comments will be moderated by the staff. And our staff also participates in a support chat with a student. Like when a student has any query about the system or faces any difficulties, they can initiate a support chat. Then the staff will also monitor the feedbacks submitted by the students for further improvement.
Next is the state transition diagrams, one for the appointment class and one for the mental health resources class. First, for the appointment class, an appointment is created with its date and time and session type, which sets it to the scheduled state. Then in the scheduled state, it can be rescheduled with a different date and time, which still maintains that scheduled state with different data. Then it can either be cancelled, which transitions it to the cancelled state, and after the cancelled state, the state transition finishes, or it can be conducted, which changes it into the progressing state. In the progressing state, one of two conditions can happen. A student may attend it or not. If it is not attended, it changes into the cancel state and finishes, or if it is attended, it transitions into the completed state, and after the completed state, the state transition finishes. In the mental health resources class, first a resource is created which sets it to the draft state. Then a draft state can either be rejected or approved. If it is rejected, it cycles through the draft again, and eventually after 1 month it is deleted, or if it is approved, it becomes published. In the published state, it can the published state, it can be deleted or it can be archived. And if it is archived, it can either be republished or redrafted. And then after 3 months of being archived, it is eventually also deleted. And that finishes the state transition.
For conclusion, the Phase 2 requirement model effectively translates stakeholder needs and envision systems behavior into comprehensive system model from functional data and behavioral perspective. So these models collectively demonstrate how the system supports essential features like AI-driven support, education management, appointment scheduling, formal and emergency help, form-based communication, and detailed flow of interaction. Robust data structure ensures scalability, maintainability, and user-centered support. So thank you. That's all from us.